And in sports, Ohio travels to Bowling Green tonight in a must-win game for the Bobcats. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news out of southeastern Ohio. I'm Connor Kierick. Thank you for joining us. 9 people have been indicted in connection to the death of an Ohio University fraternity member last year. Sigma Pi member Colin Wyant died in November of 2018 at a house on Mill Street where multiple fraternity members lived. The individuals were indicted by the Athens County Grand Jury yesterday and are scheduled to appear for arraignment. The charges are related to alleged hazing activities. Athens City Council is moving forward with a proposed ordinance to rezone parts of uptown Athens. If the ordinance is passed, buildings on the affected streets could be taller and there would be reduced parking. At a meeting last night, community members voiced their concerns. This ordinance is continuing to move through Athens City Council toward being adopted as an official ordinance. The most common concern was about parking, with some people saying there's not a lot of parking now, and this ordinance could make it worse. Some said they believe that this is more of a university issue. Others spoke up and said they don't feel it's necessary and that the declining enrollment at Ohio University eliminates the need for more apartments on Court Street. Councilmember Chris Fall introduced the ordinance. She says people like to use parking as an excuse.
Parking is used too much to talk about why we don't want certain things. It's not a good way to deal with those sort of planning issues. Parking is a bad deal.
Another public hearing is taking place right now at the Community Center on East State Street. This hearing is on a proposed ordinance concerning short-term rentals in Athens. This includes things like Airbnb and VRBO. The hearing will be going on until 8. So be sure to tune into Newswatch tomorrow for the latest on that story. Ohio University professors say the university's financial aid should come from Ohio athletics, not its academic departments. This is from research released yesterday by the OU chapter for the American Association of University Professors. The debate comes in the midst of a budget deficit. OU is asking its colleges to cut between 5 and 10% of their operational budgets to help make up a more than $19 million shortfall. Professors are concerned that cuts will disproportionately affect faculty. University leadership met this weekend to discuss the move forward, according to a university spokesperson, but there has been no word about when results from that meeting will be made public. A new abortion ban is being introduced in Ohio. The bill is twice as long as the one introduced last year. It creates new criminal offenses for abortions, which could carry the death penalty. The bill does not make exceptions for rape or incest, and it would require doctors to wait longer to do the procedure if a woman's life is in danger. Some people, like Jamie Miracle with NARAL Pro-Choice Ohio, say the bill could even criminalize contraception.
All the birth control pills, injections, some IUDs, all of them can have a mechanism of action of stopping a fertilized egg from implanting in the uterus, still birth control, but would be outlawed by this bill.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine won't say whether he will sign this total ban. He says he wants other laws, like the 6-week heartbeat ban, to make it to the U.S. Supreme Court first.
Hi, I'm forecaster Alyssa Lanier from the Newswatch Weather Center. Right now in Athens, it is 42 degrees and it is pretty clear outside. The humidity is 61% and the pressure is 29.98 inches. The winds are very calm right now. Across the region right now, it is 42 in Athens, 49 in Ripley, 54 in Ironton, 49 in Jackson, 47 in Chillicothe, 48 in Columbus, 44 in Newark, 43 in New Lexington, 41 in Cambridge, 45 in New Martinsville, 46 in Marietta, all under clear to mostly cloudy skies. So it is a very big mix-up across Ohio right now in the skies. The precip, it's clear right now in Athens, but in Ironton they will be seeing some rain pretty soon. It's coming in to the south of Ironton right now. And cloudy skies remain for the next few days, and rain is coming, and there's a chance of snow in the next couple days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But
So how likely is it that folks in Athens will actually see snow this weekend?
it's not very likely, but rain is very likely this weekend.
All right, well, thank you, Alyssa. Kentucky Governor-elect Andy Beshear is preparing to take office next month. Beshear says that Governor Mike Bevin's administration has been assisting this transition team, but that he has not heard from Bevin himself. Beshear will take office on December 10th. The Republican incumbent conceded to Beshear last Thursday after losing re-election by about 5,000 votes. During his campaign, Bevin tied himself closely to President Trump. Trump even held a rally in Lexington on the night before the election to try to boost Bevin's efforts. Bevin called Trump's rally wonderful, but said it was difficult to win re-election in what he called a, quote, heavily blue state.
In fairness to the president, I think it's a little too much to expect him to single-handedly in one night make a difference in the race in an entire state.
Bevin says he will spend his final days in office doing paperwork before returning to the private sector. And in West Virginia, another Democrat might make a run for governor. Jody Murphy met with residents at the Knights of Columbus in Parkersburg last night. Murphy tells WTAP he is running on a platform that will grow the state economy and retain residency. Murphy already filed pre-candidacy papers, but the deadline to file for candidacy is in January. Two bills in West Virginia are waiting for current Governor Jim Justice's signature. The House of Delegates and Senate approved a measure to stop expunging DUI convictions and passed a bill allowing the state to pay off a road bond. This comes after Justice called lawmakers back last week for the second special session of the year. The session came as a surprise to legislators who say the governor sprung a series of bills on them with no warning. A former West Virginia Environmental Department staffer is facing up to 20 years in prison. Yvonne Dozier has admitted to stealing more than $60,000 from the agency. U.S. Attorney Mike Stewart says Dozier used a taxpayer-funded credit card to pay her own bills. Dozier has pleaded guilty to a felony wire fraud charge. Multiple charges, I should say. And it's the third day of public impeachment hearings. Witnesses are not holding back about what they heard during the call between President Trump and the President of Ukraine. Plus, 10 Democratic presidential candidates take the debate stage tomorrow night. What to look for when Newswatch returns.
The news broadcasts a violent world.
But we may be living in the most peaceful era in human existence.
An investigation of archaeology to neuroscience, Baltimore to Iraq. Can science help reduce violence?
Here are things that we could do.
We're really testing in the field.
The Violence Paradox.
We're at war with ourselves.
On Nova.
Sama. Sama, I made this film for you. Sama, I need you to understand what we are fighting for.
Word came to me late one night that a young woman was very ill. I started early next morning, the mercury down to 20 degrees below zero, and rode 6 miles to her house.
Meet the first Native American doctor and the women who follow in her footsteps.
Being a bear takes a wide array of abilities to overcome life's obstacles. From finding food to raising a family. But bears have also found a way into our world. And with the next generation learning by example, their contact with us could be their biggest hurdle yet.
As the impeachment inquiry heats up, a key part of the Republicans' defense is that there are no people with firsthand accounts of the President Trump's call with Ukraine's president. But 3 of today's public inquiry hearing witnesses were on that call. Karen Kefa explains what exactly they said this morning.
Without hesitation, I knew that I had to report this to the White House counsel.
Day 3 of the public impeachment hearings, and the first 2 witnesses aren't holding back when it comes to how they felt about that July 25th phone call between President Donald Trump and Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky.
I found the July 25th phone call unusual because, in contrast to other presidential calls I had observed, it involved discussion of what appeared to be a domestic political matter.
It was improper for the president to request to demand an investigation into a political opponent, especially a foreign power.
A theme of the Republican defense of President Trump was that witnesses didn't have firsthand knowledge of the July 25th phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine, dismissing elements of their testimony as hearsay.
You saw 3 diplomats who dislike President Trump's Ukraine policy discussing second-hand and third-hand conversations about their objections with the Trump policy.
But 3 of today's witnesses were on that phone call. Jennifer Williams, a foreign policy aide to Vice President Mike Pence, and from the National Security Council, Timothy Morrison and Alexander Vindman, who told lawmakers in his closed-door testimony that he reported concerns about the call within hours and was later told not to discuss it with anyone.
President Trump slammed the investigation as a scam and a hoax. The White House also weighed in, saying in a statement that President Trump has not done anything that amounts to bribery or any other crime. The Democratic candidates for president are taking the debate stage once again. The 5th debate will be held in Atlanta, Georgia tomorrow night. Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang all qualified. Democrats believe that Georgia could be their way because of urbanization that has turned the state population younger and less white. Andrea Gillespie, associate professor at political science at Emory University, says the candidates will try to appeal directly to Georgia voters.
So in the last debate, for instance, where you saw candidates bringing up manufacturing in Ohio because that's a big issue there, right? I would expect that we're going to see similar types of appeals that are actually pretty consistent with the candidates and the Democratic Party's overall platform and message, but that will be very tailored to meeting local conditions.
To qualify for the debate, candidates must reach polling the fundraising criteria set by the Democratic National Committee. Candidates must have polled at least 3% in 4 national polls or 5% in 2 early state polls. Plus, they need a minimum of 165,000 unique donors, with at least 600 in at least 20 states. One of the rarest butterfly species is finding a sanctuary in an unlikely place. That story still ahead.
Tomorrow there will be fair weather and rain is unfortunately on its way. I'll talk about that in my full forecast, but first here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Word came to me late one night that a young woman was very ill. I started early next morning, the mercury down to 20 degrees below zero, and rode 6 miles to her house.
Meet the first Native American doctor and the women who follow in her footsteps.
Sama. Sama, I made this film for you. Sama, I need you to understand what we are fighting for.
Being a bear takes a wide array of abilities to overcome life's obstacles. From finding food to raising a family. But bears have also found a way into our world. And with the next generation learning by example, their contact with us could be their biggest hurdle yet.
The news broadcasts a violent world.
But we may be living in the most peaceful era in human existence.
An investigation of archaeology to neuroscience, Baltimore to Iraq. Can science help reduce violence?
Here are things that we could do.
We're really testing in the field.
The Violence Paradox
We're at war with ourselves.
on Nova.
Hi, I'm forecaster Alyssa Lanier from the Newswatch Weather Center. Right now in Athens, it is 42 degrees and it is pretty clear outside. The humidity is 61% and the pressure is 29.92 inches. Across the region, it is 42 in Athens, 49 in Ripley, 46 in Marietta, 45 in New Martinsville, all under clear to mostly cloudy skies. Tonight in Athens, it will be 34 degrees and there will be patches of fog into the morning hours, and the moon phase is in the last quarter. The winds will be calm tonight. Hour by hour tonight at 8 p.m. there will be increasing clouds at 39 degrees. The temperatures will continue to cool at 10 p.m. to 37 degrees, and at midnight it will be 35 degrees and there will be increasing humidity tonight. Across the region tonight, it will be 34 as the low in Athens, 33 in Ripley, 31 in Marietta, 32 in New Martinsville, 30 in Cambridge, 30 in Newark, 31 in Columbus, 29 in New Lexington, 32 in Chillicothe, all under mostly cloudy skies. The bus stop forecast for your tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. it will be 35 degrees and it will be partly cloudy. It will start to warm at 10 a.m. to 42 degrees, and at noon it will be 45 degrees and it will be sunny at noon tomorrow. In Athens, the high tomorrow will be 50 degrees and it will be partly cloudy. And again, there will be morning fog patches, so be careful driving if you see any fog. There will be intervals of sun and clouds all day tomorrow, so there will be a mix of sun sometimes, and then sometimes it will unfortunately be cloudy. The winds will be from the northwest at 0 to 5 miles an hour. Across the region, the highs will be 50 in Athens, 53 in Ripley, 53 in Ironton, 52 in Jackson, 51 in Chillicothe, 50 in Columbus, 51 degrees in Newark, 49 in Cambridge, and 49 in New Martinsville, all under partly cloudy skies. The jet stream on Wednesday, this ridge will be moving into our area, which will mean fair weather on Wednesday and Thursday. And looking at the surface today, this high pressure system to the west of us will be pushing through. By tomorrow, it will be over our area. And on Thursday, this cold front will pass through at night on Thursday, so you will see a chance of rain on Thursday. Looking at the week ahead on Wednesday, it will be partly cloudy and it will be 50 degrees on Wednesday. On Thursday, there is a 60% chance of evening rain showers and it will be 54 degrees. Friday, the rain showers will continue into the morning and it will be 52 degrees. And then on Friday after 1 a.m., there will be a chance of snow. Saturday, the chance of snow continues into the morning hours before 9 a.m. And then after 9 a.m., there will be occasional rain showers all day on Saturday. It will be under cloudy skies at 46 degrees.
Well, it looks like it's the rain on the way. At least we have some sun after that.
Yes, the sun will be coming on Sunday.
Fantastic. Thanks, Alyssa. But one thing to boost your mood, one of the rarest butterfly species is found only in one place on Earth, a U.S. military base. There are only about 3,000 St. Francis satyr butterflies left. The butterfly appears only twice a year for 2 weeks each time. When it does, a team of Army biologists go to Fort Bragg to count the butterflies and improve their habitat. Fort Bragg biologist Brian Ball says military bases across the U.S. have turned into protected areas for species.
Because there are areas where military trains, but there's also vast areas where the public's not there, there's no development, and a lot of rare species are actually on military installations.
The St. Francis satyr is among thousands of species in the U.S. that have been protected by the Endangered Species Act. About $3 million has been spent to save the butterfly so far.
Hi, I'm Nick Veland. Multiple Bobcats received Mid-American Conference recognition for their performances last week. Learn who they are and more when Newswatch returns. But first, stay tuned for your public television station. Even when our show is over tonight, here's a look of what's to come.
Word came to me late one night that a young woman was very ill. I started early next morning, the mercury down to 20 degrees below zero, and rode 6 miles to her house.
Meet the first Native American doctor and the women who follow in her footsteps.
The news broadcasts a violent world.
But we may be living in the most peaceful era in human existence.
An investigation of archaeology to neuroscience, Baltimore to Iraq. Can science help reduce violence?
Here are things that we could do.
We're really testing in the field.
The violence paradox.
We're at war with ourselves.
On Nova.
Prison is here to punish us. It's not about rehabilitating. It just isn't.
This is a full-time, total commitment. When that door closes, you're at Bard College.
It's hard, it's difficult, but it's rewarding.
I gotta prove that I'm worthy of this.
They're trying to pay back to society. It changes your whole outlook.
I realized I learned something. That is where transformation happens. That is what stops people from coming back to prison.
Sama. Sama, I made this film for you. Sama, I need you to understand what we are fighting for.
Welcome back. I'm Nick Veland. Multiple Bobcats received Mid-American Conference Player of the Week recognition. Now for back-to-back weeks, Tia Jimerson and Vera Giacomazzi will take the award. Jimerson received MAC Defensive Player of the Week and Giacomazzi received Setter of the Week. Both players have received this award 3 times throughout the season. Now on the basketball side, Jason Preston took the honor by averaging 21.5 points per game and shooting over 50% from the field. And now to continue with the men's basketball team, the Bobcats faced off against Villanova Wildcats this past weekend. And when the schedule came out, Ohio knew it was going to be a tough win, but showed hope early on in this one against the 10th-ranked team in the nation as they held a 17-16 lead in the first half. But a 27-4 run for Villanova gave the Wildcats a 22-point lead, and Villanova would go on to win this one 78-54. And now the Bobcat squad will not have an easy road ahead of them. They'll have to face off against the Baylor Bears. Ohio will travel to Baylor on Thursday to take on the 24th ranked team in the AP poll, as Jeff Bowles and the Bobcats will have another tough matchup on the road, separated by less than a week apart.
You know, for chemistry reasons and camaraderie to go on the road, because there's nothing really else to do, but you know, it's not ideal for a young team to go on the road that long, and you know, the schedule this year's, you know, kind of wacky in that sense, because we got a lot of road heavy November and every game at home in December. You know, you'd like to mix it up and you know, get home away, but I think it's a great experience for our guys trying to, you know, learn how to win on the road, what it takes to win on the road, how to prepare on the road, you know, how to handle your academics, you know, so it's there's a lot of positive we can get out of it.
There's nothing better than midweek action, and the Bobcats head to Bowling Green tonight to face off against the Falcons. Ohio has their season on the line tonight if they want to become bowl eligible. Here are the key factors for tonight's game. For Ohio, last week they were eliminated from winning the MAC East which won't allow them to go to the MAC championship game, but the postseason hopes for them are still alive with winning the last 2 games of the season for them to be considered for a bowl game. And also, Frank Solich will look to become the winningest head coach in the MAC tonight, as if the Bobcats win, they'll have 111 wins and will break the record. On to Bowling Green. There are 20.5-point underdogs heading into this one, as they're coming off a loss last week against Miami. Player to look out for on Bowling Green is Bryson Denley, coming off one of his best performances last week with 105 rushing yards. He'll be a constant threat for the Ohio defense, and Ohio will look to bounce back after 2 straight losses.
I think kids in this generation bounce back quick, you know, and I think there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's us coaches that seem to hang on to things maybe a little too long. And so our guys are ready to go. They know exactly why we're where we're at. They know they can't do anything about it at this point. Only thing that they can do something about is what lies ahead, and that's what we intend to do.
So Nick, it sounds like there's a big game for the Bobcats tonight. Where can folks around here watch it?
Well, it's going to be a nationally televised game, and be sure to catch this one on ESPNU at 7:30.
Thank you so much, Nick. One Kentucky community is coming together for a good cause this Thanksgiving season. Thousands of hot meals will go out across the region, and volunteers and organizers say it's all about making people feel welcome and invited. Reporter Olivia Russell has more about how the whole operation comes together.
Hi. Tomorrow in Athens it will be 50 degrees, and tomorrow there will be morning fog patches in Athens. There will be sun and cloud mix off and on tomorrow, so you will see periods of sun and periods of clouds off and on tomorrow all day. Tomorrow across the region it will be 50 in Athens, 53 in Ripley, 53 in Ironton, 52 in Jackson, 51 in Chillicothe, 50 in Columbus, 51 in Newark, all under partly cloudy skies. Looking at the week ahead, on Wednesday there will be partly cloudy skies and it will be 50 degrees on Wednesday. The low will be 34 degrees on Wednesday, so it will be very chilly Wednesday evening, so definitely take a jacket, but it will be fair weather. So definitely like that because there will be rain ahead. On Thursday it will be 54 degrees and it will be cloudy all day Thursday. There is a 60% chance of evening showers on Thursday after 6 p.m. and on Friday there will be a 60% chance of showers off and on all day, and then after 1 a.m. on Friday there will be a chance of snow. It will be 52 degrees on Friday. Saturday it will be 46 degrees and there will be a 60% chance of rain, and there will be a chance of snow before 9 a.m. On Sunday the rain will finally clear out and it will be sunny on Sunday at 47 degrees, and the low will still be in the low 30s, so definitely still keep your jacket all throughout the week. On Monday it will be 50 degrees and it will be sunny and it will be 36 degrees as the low. On Tuesday it will be partly cloudy and there will be a 20% chance of evening rain showers again, so keep your umbrella around just for the next week. On Tuesday it will be 53 degrees and it will be 40 as the low. So it will be a chilly week ahead, and definitely keep your jacket and umbrella and maybe your snow boots because we could see some snow.
So Alyssa, it sounds like temperatures keep going up and down. So do we still got some more fall left in the season?
Yes, we do, but for the next week we could see rain and that will be some fall temperatures. But then on Friday we will see more wintry temperatures, and there is the chance of snow on Friday into Saturday, and then we will start to see fall temperatures again on Sunday and Monday.
Thank you, Alyssa, for those final updates. Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Connor Kierick. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime on W.
What's up? My name is Joseph Hennessy. I am the host of the 21st season of Gridiron Glory. Make sure to tune in every Friday night on WOUB at 11:30 p.m. and make sure to keep up with all of our social media. Remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights